at the time of me filming, at least, tomorrow is May the 4th, so this might be Hot Toys' last round of Star Wars announcements. But I don't know about this one. We've got some bangers in here, or at least one banger, and we've got some questionable ones. We are going to be talking about them because I'm kind of excited for at least Qui-Gon Jinn. They're also going to be making a sculpted hair edition, but they haven't put out any other photos for the sculpted hair one, just the Artisan one. This Anakin, we really need to talk about because Hot Toys, yeah, it's a little interesting. And then this Ahsoka, my opinion on it might surprise you. We'll have to see. And then the ATRT driver we already knew about, but for some reason they slapped him in here. So yeah, we need to talk about all these ones. They're going to be limited at first. You see like 400, 500, 500. Those are just like first waves. I put the actual amount that's going to be worldwide in the slides that we're going to be going through. And yeah, let's just get right into it because it's going to be interesting. Our wallets might be safe this time for the most part, but yeah, right off the bat, concept art Anakin Skywalker. This one, it's cool looking, but it's not really what I wanted. You know, recently a lot of people are making fun of Thrawn with the hat. You know, they just slapped the hat on Thrawn. Me personally, I loved it because it was a Rebel Thrawn, and I'd much rather prefer those accessories over what we got with the first Thrawn. So that's one I picked up, especially it was a limited release figure. This one also is limited, but it's, yeah, what do we call this one? Jacket Anakin or something? Jacket Anakin has a nice ring to it to me, but this one is going to be limited to 3,000 units worldwide. So if you do really want this one, because it is a cool looking concept art, Anakin reminds me of kind of like what they did with the Legends line, like the Dark Empire Luke. So if you are really into this one, definitely pay attention, because if Hot Toys does what they did with the other releases, like the Artisan Old Man Luke and the Artisan, or not Art, the limited Grand Admiral Thrawn. Yeah, hopefully I called him Grand Admiral Thrawn earlier. But if they did what they did with those, they're just going to drop them on sideshows. So definitely pay attention if you really want this one. But for me, this is an Anakin I can definitely pass on. I mean, I don't need that many different Episode 3 Anakins. I'm already getting two. The sculpted hair one to fight Obi-Wan. And then the Artisan one with like the Sith eyes that I can also swap out the eyes for the like blue ones and stuff. But this one, yeah, this one's not really it for me. You do get two different sabers. You can see the red one. You do get the orange eyes, and those are like the very orange eyes rather than just kind of like the yellowy ones. But you can see you also get his light side look. So it is cool. I will say it's cool that they actually give you the swap out eye feature for this one. So you have the blue eyes and you have the Sith eyes, of course. The hair though, it's a bit longer. I'm not sure if I like it. It has like a different style to it, like the hair fringe coming down. It's definitely longer. But let's talk about the outfit too, because the outfit itself, he gets two gloves this time. You know how that usually this one's ungloved and this one's gloved because it's robot hand. He gets two gloves, and also the color of the outfit's a bit different. The one, unless they call it out, the disappointing part once again, unless they did figure out a new material, because I saw in that new Maul from Maul Shadow Lord, it actually called out that it wasn't pleather. It was like some different type material, but maybe it's just a fancy term for another material that might degrade. So as of now, we'll assume this tabard is pleather. So it's another figure, limited release and stuff that might degrade over time. But nonetheless, it is kind of cool. It's going to be over like $400 or something, but we can compare the outfits here. See here, the legs, they're more of like a brownish color here on the Episode 3 outfit. But for the concept art, they're kind of like that charcoaly, darker gray. The boots, to me at least, look identical. Like maybe they're a little darker, but it could also be the lighting. So I think the boots are pretty much identical. The tabards, I think it's Hot Toys. They probably just reuse the same tabards. I don't know why they wouldn't. The belt looks identical. Same pockets, same places. So identical looking belt. The tabards, I don't know if it's the lighting, but it looks like a different charcoaly gray here on the new one. I don't know. That one I'm not 100% sure on, but they look a little different. Of course, you see hand here, no hand here, two gloved hands. And also the gloved hands are a little different. This one here, you can see like kind of covers the hand a little bit. This one is just kind of that type of gauntlet. And then head sculpt wise, yeah, they both get the blue eyes, but of course, sculpted hair, the new Artisan one. Just especially for the price of this Artisan one. Like I passed on the Old Man Luke. It was Artisan. It looked kind of cool. Like it was well done. But then again, I'm not getting sequel figures. And I think despite how much I love Anakin, this is one I probably have to pass on. Then here, you see the Sith eyes option. This is the Anakin I'm getting. This one right here, the Darth Vader Mustafar edition Anakin. And I'm so excited to get this. But honestly, at this point, I feel like everyone's going to have an Artisan Anakin. They made one before the light side one. They made this one, of course, and now they're making this one. I'm trying to think. Is there an Anakin I forget? I mean, they have the sculpted hair one, but I think those are the three. I mean, I guess technically there is four, because they had the Japan exclusive one that had the Ahsoka, that was like Ahsoka edition, sort of had that cool looking backdrop type thing. So yeah, this Mustafar edition is basically the same one as the Ahsoka one, with like a cooler base in my opinion. But yeah, that means this is our fourth Artisan Anakin I can think of. If I'm misthinking, just let me know in the comments. But head sculpt wise, it's basically the same expression. You see the eyes, this one looks a little bit more yellowy to me. These ones are more that like bright orange that they did with the Ahsoka one, the Japan exclusive one. And yeah, gauntlet wise, also different. Like I said, the outfit, this one we can kind of get a better angle. It's just some with the actual like fabric part of the outfit. It looks like a different color to me. Pants definitely different color. The boots, actually, yeah, the boots from this angle, they are different. Okay, so different boots as well. So they didn't just do this completely lazy with the Anakin. So I'll give them credit for that. Not completely lazy, but then again, it is mostly reuse. But at least for those who want it, you get the concept art Anakin now. Because yeah, the boots, I didn't notice it on the other picture, but yeah, there's no straps or anything. They are a darker color. These are more brown. The legs, the tabard, even the tabards seem like they have a different texture. Like they look a little more textured on the new one, maybe. I don't know. Am I talking myself into this one? Probably not, with how many other figures that I definitely need from their Star Wars announcements. But yeah, actually, I'm a little more impressed now that they actually give them new stuff. Like the rose, maybe some of it's reused from other figures or something, but yeah, it's definitely a different color there for the fabric parts. And now I'm just like trying to analyze the tabards. I'm like, dang, they are different. Yeah, gloves are different. Of course, you get kind of like Vader chain there for the cloak. The cloak is definitely going to be wired. I kind of like that maroonish purple inside it. It looks kind of cool. And then the base, I do kind of like the base on it because it's that cogwheel style, which they start doing for more Star Wars figures, give them a little more height. But I kind of like that purple around it. The purple looks kind of cool. But then I want to show this because this is what it reminded me of. That Dark Empire Luke, which is kind of when like Luke became Vader, sort of, in like Legends. And honestly, because this Luke, the Artisan Edition, it's one I got a waitlist conversion for fairly recently. And I had a 15% off delay coupon from Sideshow. You guys know when figures get delayed on Sideshow, usually they give you a 15% off coupon. So for those, I always wait to see what waitlist conversions I'm going to get before it expires, just to see if there's anything I need. This is one that popped up and I was like, you know what? The 15% off works on it, even though it's Artisan, because it doesn't always work on Artisans. But the 15% off works. So I am getting this Luke. And then I was looking side by side. I was like, huh, having Luke with the cloak and then his father in the cloak could be cool. Like I said, I don't think I really need the concept art Anakin. Especially it's going to be probably closer to $500 after like tax, shipping, everything. So not really one I'm, like I said, I need to pursue, especially the hairstyle. Not really the biggest fan of it. It's definitely different. But I will say, for those who want to do something like this, have father and son side by side in their dark, like Empire concept type outfits, I guess, you know, their Darth Vader-ish outfits. That could look kind of cool. I just want to show them side by side because, yeah, that's a cool display style. And then here, just some more pictures. Here he is like kind of running. It's cool. He can grab the cape, I guess. But yeah, I am glad it's wired because the material actually does look pretty good as well. You know, this one's less disappointing than I realized, I guess, because they did a lot of work. Looks like the hair, maybe they add a little bit more like hair paint, changed up the head sculpt. It's that same expression. Not sure if I'm the biggest fan of that expression. Like the looks like he's kind of growling at me or something, but that's what they did for their last like 3 Anakins, I think. I think the light side Anakin was a little different, the very first Artisan one. But we can do some side by sides here. So yes, you can see basically the same expression and everything. Got the scar in the same place. Maybe it's a little different. We'll look on the other picture, but I want to say they're mostly the same head sculpt. Maybe a little paler, just kind of hard to tell because the lighting, they photoshopped in the lightsaber, stuff like that. The hair, definitely different because sculpted here on the left. The wool implantation here on the right. I mean, the fringe here kind of matches this fringe there. But yeah, still pretty good head sculpt. I mean, head sculpt wise, hair wise. Okay, I decided to push the wrong button, but what I was saying, hair wise, head sculpt wise and stuff, Hot Toys, they did a pretty good job with it. Can't deny them that. It looks nice. But then also here, I just really like the kind of hair look that they have on the dark side Anakin, or like the Artisan Anakins that aren't the concept version. The hair fringe, I mean, it looks a little off to me. Like, I don't know. They just threw some longer hair on Hayden Christensen. I like the shorter-ish look. I was saying, to me, honestly, some of the Artisan Anakins, I was saying the hair looks a little long in some of the pictures, like not as accurate. But now seeing this one, yeah, they didn't go as long as they do for like this new concept art Anakin. So yeah, especially the eyes. I like the more accurate yellow eyes here on the one I'm getting, the Mustafar edition. And then this one, that like kind of brighter orange, which does look cool. And also, like I said, swap out eyes this time. So that's cool. But yeah, really just need to pass on it. But here's the concept art it's based on. So you see the hair fringe, the longer hair, the actual cloak, two, I don't know how Hot Toys could tell, but I guess 2 gloves. Maybe there's more concept art they saw. The boots are different, just stuff like that. So I will say it's an actual concept art. It's actually kind of cool, but I just don't think I need it. But wool hair implantation, interchangeable eyeballs. I do like that you get the 2 swap out eyes this time, because the only other way to get that was the sculpted hair edition one. Robe embedded with spinnable wire. It is cool. I mean, getting wired capes to drape, I kind of suck at, to be honest. So whenever it's wired, I have to give it a little bit of flair or something like that. But it is cool that it drapes down. You can cover the arms and everything, so I do like that stance. And here's the overall pick. So 2 pairs of interchangeable separate rolling eyeballs. We just said that. Wool hair implantation, the robe. 2 sabers. I am glad it's the same hilt, but then 2 different blades. So blue and then red, but only 1 light up feature. So, you know, light up features or whatever at this point. The belt's the same. The base is kind of cool. Not sure what that is on the top, but I actually do kind of like that purple color that's around it to match his cape, or the robe, I guess we're going to call it, instead of his cape. I guess he's not a superhero, but it's interesting. Now you can see the back of it right there. A bunch of different hands. Looks like 4 pairs, 8 total, because they're all gloved hands this time. But yeah, definitely let me know what your thoughts on this one, because not one that I need. Definitely need to save some money with, especially because I'm getting definitely going to be looking for that Qui-Gon, the Artisan Edition one. Definitely getting like Yoda, Gree, all the other announcements they've been doing. But this one, definitely one I can save my funds on. Might get on a waitlist conversion, because that's what I did with Dark Empire Luke and ended up getting him with a discount in the future. So maybe, but yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I don't really need it. But I will say Hot Toys, they did change some stuff up. It's not going to be the complete same figure with just a robe. So that's kind of nice. They actually changed up more than the Thrawn. The Thrawn, they just slapped a hat and armor on him, gave him a different holograms and some gloves. So this one is a little less lazy than that. I gotta give him credit there. Like, if you don't like that, I mean, yes, it is like a very similar figure. It's not one that everyone needs, but it is new. It is like new looking outfit and stuff. So I gotta give him credit there. The hair is different. So yeah, I know some people are gonna see this one and be like, yep, that's it for me. So gotta give him credit. But this one, okay. This is Ahsoka. It's her live action look. So not really animated or anything. But then again, I am upgrading my current Clone Wars Anakin to the live action one from Ahsoka with like his Clone Wars look. And this one, right now I have the season 7 Ahsoka, and I don't know. Maybe I need to swap it out. We'll have to see. Because this is her outfit where, of course, it was a Clone Wars movie and also the first earlier seasons of Clone Wars. But this gets me right here. You see Stinky, you know, Jabba's son. We're going to see Jabba's son in Mandalorian and Grogu. But actually getting Jabba's son here kind of gets me, because I have like, I remember seeing the Clone Wars movie in theaters. I remember like being young, sitting there like blown away. I was like getting so hyped up, like especially that scene when they're like climbing the wall, like all the clones and Anakin. It's funny, it just gave me goosebumps. I guess that means I need this figure, but just thinking about seeing them in theaters, animated Clone Wars movie, they're climbing up the wall, like getting up there to go save Stinky. This figure, the reason I kind of want it is just that nostalgia and the look of like Ahsoka from the earlier seasons and Stinky. There are seams you can actually see. They're under the backpack, so if you have the backpack on her, you won't see them. But at the same time, we will talk about that. But I don't know. This is limited 2,500 units, and it kind of reminds me of Thrawn. It is a mostly reused figure, but it's specific to something I like a bit more, like Clone Wars. Season 7 Ahsoka, awesome. We'll do some comparisons coming up, but there's just something about this I really like. I can't tell if Stinky, the arms are going to move in any of these pictures. Looks like probably not, but you can definitely see seam lines there, so maybe. But just look at that face. Jabba's son. I just love that Hot Toys did this. It's for a limited release figure, but I gotta give it to them. As far as I know, they haven't made this mold before, so super cool. Maybe they'll probably use it in the future again since they made it now. I'm sure we'll get a different figure in the future, but just look at that. Like the arms, they are seamless here, not under the backpack. The seamless torso is nice. It's her earlier look, so she does, like the other figure, you can definitely get cheaper now because I don't think it sold too well or something. The first Ahsoka that had this head sculpt and most of the same look. But yeah, the base, very basic. You do get the cloak though, but the cloak, I don't know, it looks like she's wearing a potato sack to me. Not really something I'd put on her, to be honest. But then here, this is what I mean. This is her earlier look from the earlier seasons in the movie. So she has like, you know, the bra thing, I guess, whatever you want to call it. She gets the same gloves. She gets like the skirt, the little bit of like legging covers. The boots are the same. So they made it pretty accurate to this. Like I said, not really a big fan of the seam lines in the shoulder. I wish they went the little extra mile and gave her like a seamless upper torso. Kind of like what they did with Jinx from Arcane. But they didn't do that. So that's the one downside for me. But to be honest, since we get Stinky, I kind of want to use that backpack, which would definitely hide the seams. But yeah, like the belt is accurate. But also, yes, this is the Ahsoka we got the first time. And Hot Toys, like with the Anakin, they actually did some work to change it up. So look at this. So head sculpt to me looks identical. I mean, maybe, yeah, no, we're just going to say it's identical. It looks pretty much the same. No, you know what? Looking at these photos, at least, unless they changed it for the blogger photos, they made it bluer. So more accurate to Clone Wars. See that? It looks like those parts are actually bluer instead of that like grayish blue right there, which I don't really like as much. This outfit is cool. They definitely reuse the same body because, you know, same proportions. The arms, you can tell you can't see the actual seam there because of the upper torso. But on this one, they can. So they definitely reuse that, which is a downside, I will say. You get more articulation because of that. But yeah, not the greatest thing in the world. But they definitely didn't reuse, or they repainted the head sculpt a little because oh gosh, now I can't remember what they're called. But the little hair dress things, they're a different blue, more accurate to Clone Wars. So big plus for me on that, actually. The face markings are different. Okay. So actually looking here on the cheeks, the face markings are a little different. So a little more Clone Wars accurate, I want to say. Yeah. Okay. So they made the face markings more accurate to Clone Wars. So yeah, the face markings looking between these two, identical. You can also see the blue, more of like a bluish color instead of that grayish color on this one. But yeah, other than that, okay, the face markings are a little different. You see how there's that little indent up here. Hopefully you can see that. It's like very tiny. But yeah, and also a little smaller there. You can see that bigger kind of cut in up there. And a different shape for the top pieces. Okay, so they did repaint the head sculpt. So make it a different blue, different face paint. Yeah, and Stinky, man, Stinky looks awesome. And they gave her the blast effects, which is cool on the saber. I think they gave her those as well, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's cool that she comes with them because then her and Anakin can be deflected, which is kind of awesome. Belt wise, like obviously upper torso wise, it's different looks. But the lower part, I was thinking they reused it. And maybe they did a little, but it's completely different. The belt is different. It has like a completely different look. Maybe they reuse that little lightsaber holding piece, but they use on like all the belts. The actual skirt, similar color, but even like this piece is a different color. It's okay. So that piece, I will say, isn't as accurate. You can see like different symbols. I mean, it's really similar though. Yeah, okay, so it's missing some of the symbols on the side and stuff. So not as accurate for that piece, whatever the heck you call that. They did reuse that piece. So they reused that piece from that first Ahsoka, the Padawan one from the live action. Just made it more of like a similar color to the bra thing. Yeah, so it's like a purplish type color. The maroonish color here of the skirt. Yeah, it's very similar, but it doesn't have that kind of end piece. I'm not a fashion expert, so I don't know what all these pieces are called, but that end piece, you know, that's why I need my laser pointer to circle them. That end piece is not there, so that's different. But maybe they reuse the rest of it, potentially. The leggings look like the same type of material and stuff, but here, of course, they're white. Different over here. The boots. Yes, the boots do look accurate because like they added the stitching on the side and stuff, which I think she does have here. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but the boots look like reused to me. They look kind of the same between the two. Maybe a different color. They look darker here. Could also be the lighting. But boots potentially reused, but actually, yeah, the tread's different. So they also repainted the boots if they are just reused because the bottom tread here is black and also looks like a different type of color. This one here, it's just the same color to match. So They did a lot of changes here to make it a specific Clone Wars Ahsoka. So to me, it's funny. I just realized I went like really deep into analyzing all this because Ahsoka is one character I really care about. She was awesome in Clone Wars. She's awesome now. Seeing her in like live action, everything. So that's also another reason I kind of want this one. Like the nostalgia and Ahsoka in general is awesome. Might even keep the season 7 Ahsoka, but we'll also discuss that in a sec. So here's the season 7 Ahsoka. You see different looks. Not sure if the arm, I'm hoping the arm material, they make it silicone or they improve it for this newer one, because the rubber here has me worried. I don't bend her arms because I've seen too many horror stories of people showing like the arms ripping and stuff on this one, but starting to think maybe I need to swap it out for the new one. Although I do like the head sculpt on this season 7 Ahsoka, phenomenal. I absolutely love it. If I get it, if I do get this one, which I'm thinking I might want to try some head sculpt swaps to see how it looks like this head on this body, although it won't make as much sense since she's a bit older here. But you know, it's our figures. We can experiment, see what we like. Man, I just love Stinky right there. Look at that. He's just adorable. He grows up to be a big gladiator dude in Mandalorian Grogu, but just look at that. But side by side, they both look cool. Might need to keep the season 7, like I said, but we'll see, because I definitely want this figure though. And then here you see her with Anakin. This is the live action Anakin. They really do belong together, because the season 7 Ahsoka I have right now with the Anakin, if I weren't getting this one here on the right, she'd be with this Anakin in that look. Not really accurate to the show, because when he had this look, it was the earlier seasons in the animated movie. And then of course, when Ahsoka had her season 7 look, Anakin already got kind of his like episode 3 type look, longer hair, stuff like that. So it'd be a bit more accurate having them two together. Just like, look at that. That's going to be an awesome pairing. Hot Toys even put some photos in here. You see right there, here they are together on like the left and the right. Just seeing them posed up like that, man, that's what I want right there. Just Anakin and his apprentice. That's just, it looks so good. Of course, they did her saber, the hilt, like very accurate. It's basically, looks like reused once again from this one. Yeah, it's the same one. So makes sense, but that's also how Ahsoka's earlier lightsaber looked. And then in season 7, she got different looking ones. She has dual sabers, but there's something about her just having the one I always kind of liked. But now Ahsoka moving forward always has 2 lightsabers. But look at that. His arms do articulate. Okay, can confirm now. Stinky's arms articulate right there. This is like when they found him and she's like, look, he's adorable, or whatever she said. I'll admit I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but when I was younger, watched it like 50 times a day or something. I don't know. I just love the Clone Wars. But look at that. Just having him in the backpack. The backpack, of course, is just reuse. But then again, it makes sense. Stinky fits in there pretty well. I don't know. I'm loving this one. And then I want to show this because it looks like Hot Toys, if they do this, I'll probably get this one as well. I don't know how many Ahsokas I need, but she's just such an awesome character. I need like all the representations of Anakin and now different representations of Ahsoka. Not gonna lie, this outfit I care a bit less for. Maybe if it's like really cheap or something on Black Friday, because it wasn't selling well. It was already discounted last Black Friday. So if it's even cheaper in the future and I see it for a decent deal, maybe I'll pick it up just to look at. But if I'm getting this one here on the right, I don't miss it or anything, because it's 2,500 units worldwide. Yeah, maybe, but then again, that's a lot of Ahsokas, especially with the same head sculpt. That's the part I'm kind of like, I don't know. Because the season 7 one, quite a bit different than this one. This one, she looks a lot younger. This one, she does look quite a bit older. But then if they do this one, maybe, because it looks like they also gave her the longer Lakus. I guess just pop it. Are they Lakus, or is that for like Hera? Like those type of things. Yeah, those pieces. Like they look a little longer here than they did on like the first one, maybe, but not as long as like the actual season 7 appearance. So we'll see what they do. But I want to show this because they put her in the season 7 look in, of course, Ahsoka. So they might do another exclusive figure or something like this. 2 lightsabers, like the 2 hilts, those accurate. Yeah, they look accurate to season 7, although it also kind of looks similar to that. So they could do another Ahsoka, just have her look like this. Just take the same body, same seamless arms, well, seamless, not in the shoulder area, same head sculpt, and slap it together like this. Of course, the head dressing is a bit different, so they'll have to change up the head dressing. But they could do her like a live action or do like a Clone Wars style like they did with the other, this Ahsoka now, like changing up the head sculpt and stuff, just like paint work. So yeah, that's an option. Maybe they'll do that in the future too. I wouldn't put it past Hot Toys since they are basically doing that now with this current Ahsoka we're looking at. But you do get separate one eyeballs. You get the specialized body with silicone arms and seamless joints. I mean, sort of Hot Toys, I guess. Seamless torso. Not sure if there's going to be like ab crunch or anything, or if that's just a plastic piece. I mean, seamless arms, but the shoulders, you're killing me with the shoulders. You should have. I would have loved to see if they did that, actually made a seamless upper body as well. Definitely 100% would be getting this. Probably getting it anyway, like I said, but I kind of wish they did change that up. But then again, you get Stinky, so I really like having the backpack on her with him in the back, like her next to Anakin, like fighting, you know, trying to save Stinky. So that would be really cool, and you can just hide the joints that way. Two styles of display for Rhoda. Rhoda, that's his name. Okay. Well, I always call him Stinky because, you know, that's what they call him, but I always forget his name's Rhoda. So 2 styles of display. I think you just get one of them and the arms just articulate. So you have backpack look. You can have when she's holding him, he's like, or whatever he does. But you also get she has 2 display styles. The cloak looks like a potato sack. Not really feeling her cloak here, to be honest. I did like her season 7 cloak, but this one, no, not doing it for me. But then here on the right, this is the look I'll probably go for. Her with a backpack on, hiding the seams for the actual shoulders, and just looking cool next to Anakin. 3 holograms. So you get the Obi-Wan hologram. You get these are just reused. So I looked at Anakin, I was like, yeah, that's just reused, because this is Anakin with his cape, which is definitely reused, an older one. This is probably reused as well, this Obi-Wan hologram and a Yoda hologram. Pretty much all reused here, but they're holograms. Not the biggest deal. Kind of wish they did a more accurate Anakin one here, because he has the long hair, his Clone Wars look, and the cape. Not accurate in the slightest. And then here, Artisan she comes with separate own eyeballs. I do not remember those goggles. Cannot lie. Remind me in the comments. I guess I'm completely forgetting when she wore goggles like that. Stinky, best part of this, to be honest. But yes, I do love the animated look from the earlier seasons in the show. Like that cloak, though, not doing it for me. All those holograms, kind of just cool inclusions, not really necessary. You get the 2 different thermal detonators. They usually give you a full one and a half one. Light up lightsaber, unlight up lightsaber, which I always use because light up features are And then it looks like some decent saturation on the green blades. I do like the green blast effects, though, so she can be like deflecting sabers. Like I'm already imagining poses, you know, having her stand there like deflecting them, protecting Stinky in her backpack, or Rhoda, you know what he's actually supposed to be called. She gets 3 different pairs of hands. Looks like some lightsaber holding hands, some open palm, like force push hands, stuff like that. Very basic base. I kind of wish they gave her a sand base, to be honest. Even if they reuse the same sand base that first one got, because I remember when she was trying to get to Jabba's palace, and then like the magma guards pulled up, Dooku pulled up, all that stuff, and yeah, and then she had to get like Stinky there and had to fight them in the sand. So that would have been cool. But then again, yeah, it's just a basic Star Wars base, so nothing exciting there. But this one, I kind of do want it because I'm a big Clone Wars fan. They're actually giving us Clone Wars animated style stuff. Still live action, like with the Thrawn, that live action look, but with like animated Rebels stuff on them. Still same live action Ahsoka, but with animated stuff on her. So yeah, I'm kind of liking it. I'm probably what I'll be looking for when it goes live. Hopefully the price is kind of low, because they did surprise me when they reused some other stuff. Like the price on Gree is kind of lower. They do have a likeness here, so it'll be a little higher. But like Weapon X also didn't have a likeness, and he was actually a decent price. We'll see what the price is, but hopefully not too much, because I am going to be keeping an eye out for this one going live. And now the grand finale. Artisan Edition Qui-Gon Jinn. They didn't put out pictures for it, yes. Yeah, they didn't put out, I'm just getting ahead of myself. They didn't put out pictures for it yet, but yes, there is going to be a sculpted hair edition. So if you want the sculpted hair one, though, they will make that one. That one doesn't look like it's limited. For me, I'm going to be trying for the Artisan Edition. Hopefully none of it went live yet, because if I missed it, that would kind of stink. But Qui-Gon Jinn Artisan Edition head sculpt on point. They did something similar. They did with like the hobo Luke, where it has like the mix of gray strands with some brown hair. Looks really good. The beard looks good. This new head sculpt, phenomenal. His hilt, I definitely need this one. It's 3,000 units worldwide. I really, really hope I get the Artisan Qui-Gon. But then again, throwing it out there, they need to make that Padawan Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's one of my favorite Star Wars characters, maybe a little more than Anakin. So I want every representation of Obi-Wan. I have him from Clone Wars. I'm getting his episode 3 look, the new Mustafar look, although I also want the clean look, because Mustafar, a bit dirty, the hair fringe, stuff like that. I'm getting the Artisan episode 2 look with some mullet, which Qui-Gon might be proud of. Seeing Obi-Wan with the longer hair, but you know, you never end up seeing it. I have the Kenobi from the Kenobi show look, and yeah, I just want all the different Obi-Wan looks. I want a Ben Kenobi. Hopefully they'll make a new one, but probably later this year or next year for the, what is it, 40 or 50 years for New Hope. But they'll probably give us a new one then. But this one, phenomenal looking. I don't have the 2.0 Phantom Menace Maul, but this kind of makes me want them now, since having it. If they do a Padawan Obi-Wan, maybe I'll track down a 2.0 Maul, because yeah, I'm also getting the new Maul from Maul Shadow Lord for the Clone Wars look. but having him fighting Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, that would be sick, especially because this Qui-Gon looks so good. But Obi-Wan, need that Padawan Obi-Wan. So Hot Toys, please, because I will 100% be buying that. Accidentally skipped too hard, got too hyped up with Obi-Wan. Hopefully my voice is doing okay. I feel like it's giving out because I woke up and went right into yapping about all these. So yeah, but look at that. I don't know why, but this is like an iconic look for him, I guess. There's just something about seeing him like crouch down that in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's a cool pose for him. And then his base is a bit more basic. We'll see what it has on the top, but it looks pretty good. I see this. I really like the saber. The saturation, can't speak on it because it's just photoshopped right there. The robes, I never put the robes on my Jedi. I mean, I probably will if we get like a clean Anakin and Obi-Wan, because I'm also going to get the sculpted Anakin and Obi-Wan that are fighting without their robes on when they're like fighting each other on Mustafar. So those two, if we get like because I'm getting the Artisan Anakin, so that Artisan Anakin and a clean Obi-Wan, I'd probably put the robes on him, just have them back to back or something cool. But him, the robes look cool on him, just not really feeling him. And then here, yeah, just look at that. This is a phenomenal figure. I love this pose here where he's like gripping the lightsaber, holding the belt. And Hot Toys, they did phenomenal with this one. We can't deny that. Here's that cloak he wore when he was on Tatooine, kind of like just covering up his Jedi robes and stuff. He's got the little communicator talking back to the ship, or Obi-Wan on the ship or something. I love this pose also because that's a Qui-Gon pose. Also the pose that Obi-Wan used to trick Maul when he took out Maul in Rebels. I mean, spoiler alert, but that show's been out for a long time. Because Kenobi, he did that thing like his usual pose. You can't even see my arms, but you know, it's like point and pose, you know, like, and then he did like, he went into the other pose, like forward, like the Ben Kenobi pose. And then he went into the Qui-Gon pose, like this right here. And then that's what tricked Maul into trying the same move he used to take out Qui-Gon, to like punch him in the face, stab him in the gut. And Obi-Wan knew he was going to trick Maul doing that and took out Maul. It's an iconic stance, especially because of that in Rebels. And then just, yeah, head sculpt, man, phenomenal. Now it's made me want this Maul, but I didn't get them all before. I'm on the wait list. We'll see what happens. But head sculpt wise, that is 100% the dude from Taken, Liam Neeson. Just the eyes, the blue eyes, they nailed. I mean, they look a little darker. The lighting's a little bit different. Very bright here on Tatooine. Looks like Jesus over here a little bit. You got like the beard, looks pretty accurate. You have like the gray mixed in there with the brown sections. The mustache, I mean, not as parted in the middle as it looks here, but looks accurate enough to me. The skin, very skin textured. Hard to tell in this photo, to be honest, because it's like a little older, film grainy. Also the lighting, like I said, it's like, whoa, you know, coming down on them. But definitely very textured here on the right. You have that gray hair mixed in, kind of hard to tell, but yeah, I like the gray hair mixed in there with some brown for the Artisan. Yeah, it just looks phenomenal. The head sculpt looks just like him to me. I really hope I get this one. Here, really hard to tell. It's the older one. Looks like my face isn't covering it. This one was not it, that older Qui-Gon, but this new one, definitely going to be it. Of course, this is sculpted hair. This is Artisan. When we see all the photos for the sculpted hair one, maybe I'll do another video. We'll just have to see, because it's also going to be the same accessory stuff like this, just sculpted hair. We kind of looked at it in the beginning, but that's about it. But this one, it looks so much better than the first one. So you get the wool hair implantation, separate and eyeballs, looks phenomenal. The 3 display styles, so of course, unrobed, which is probably what I'd go for. The kind of poncho type look. It's cool they include it because it's accurate to when he's on Tatooine and stuff, but not really 100% necessary. And you get the robe look, which does look cool actually in that stance, but I like having them with their saber out, stuff like this. And then you get 3 holograms, so looks like Yoda is probably reuse, I want to say. Mace Windu, I don't remember them giving us a Mace Windu one in the past, so definitely let me know if I'm wrong, but that might be a new sculpt. And then, unless they gave him was like the 1.0 or something, could be wrong there, like I said. And then you see, I forget the name of it, but the big shiny chrome ship, you know, Padme's ship right here. Was Padme's, right? I want to say, well, I mean, Queen Amidala's, but Padme, you know what I mean. So you get the hologram of the ship, which is cool, which is probably the one I would use because it's the most unique, other than just a dude on the hologram. And yeah, I love how this one looks. So Hot Toys, they 100% nailed this look. Looks like the top of the base is going to be, looks like where they fought Maul. So like out where all the laser walls and stuff were when he passed away, unfortunately. So that's kind of cool, but it's still their cogwheel one. They've been using the cogwheel one more and more, which I do like over the rectangle, but you know, a couple years in the future, we'll be saying Hot Toys. You need to give us a new base style, because cogwheel, you've been using that for way too long when they start using it with every Star Wars figure. But everything it comes with, I love. Communicator, accurate. The, what is that? 4 pairs of hands, it looks like. Belt looks nice. Holograms. I can't remember what that piece is. I think that's the piece they're trying to buy to replace on the ship, right? If I'm remembering correctly. 3 display styles. The hair looks phenomenal. That face. Really hope I get this one. Hopefully I'm not talking right now. They went live on Sideshow and I missed it or something, because I'd be balling right now. But yeah, just let me know what you think about this one too. Let me know what you think of all these down in the comments, because like I said, Ahsoka, Qui-Gon, 100% coming home. I mean, Ahsoka, 99% coming home. Depends on the price, because I just love the look. I love the fact we get Rhoda, or Stinky. I'm just going to call him Stinky. The Qui-Gon just looks phenomenal. The Anakin, don't really need, especially with all the other Star Wars announcements. But I know some people out there saw that. They saw the changes. They saw the accurate, it was accurate to the concept art, and we're like, heck yeah, and want it. For me, personally, although I want every version of Anakin, like from all the movies, it's not really one we saw on screen, so I don't 100% need it. But like I said, maybe I'll get on the wait list once it sells out. We'll see how that one sells on Sideshow, because at the time of me filming, I think Grand Admiral Thrawn was his hat, and then Hobo Luke, the Artisan Edition one, are still up for pre-order on Sideshow. Could be wrong. They could have gone off pre-order now, but they're on the last chance for a while, so yeah, I'm kind of hoping Hot Toys does it, or Sideshow does a queue for at least the Qui-Gon Jinn, because I do not want to miss this one. I want to have a good chance at it, so I'm going to be paying attention to their site and stuff for it to go live. They love to drop them at like random times. That's how I missed the Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, because the new Suicide Squad was like the seamless body and stuff, because they decided to drop it at midnight. So hopefully they don't do that with Qui-Gon Jinn, because I really, really want this one. Like I said, Anakin, The Ahsoka does look cool enough for me. ATRT driver we didn't talk about. He was on that list, but we already kind of looked at him because he's already announced. I think they're just showing they're doing like certain batches. The sculpted hair one also looks cool if you want to go for sculpted hair, because I know a lot of people probably want the sculpted hair one. For me, definitely going to try for Artisan, but if I have to go for sculpted hair, definitely going to be on the wait list for this one. But yeah, let's just talk about all those down in the comments. If you like the video, give it a like, hit subscribe for much more content like this. I just love yapping about all Hot Toy stuff and other 6 scale figures in general. And until next time, stay 6 scale.